Why do most people stay broke long after they earn a decent living? It's not because of bad luck or a lack of education. It's because of a lie you swallowed before you were 10 years old. I remember sitting in my third-grade classroom, Mrs. Patterson handing out those little cardboard piggy banks. "Save your money," she said, "and you'll be rich." She meant well, but that advice is a trap. It's the single most dangerous financial lesson we ever learn because it sneaks into our minds dressed as wisdom. Here's the hard truth. Saving alone is a slow path to debt. I'm not saying don't save. I'm saying saving without investing is like filling a bathtub with the drain open. Since 1971, when Nixon ended the gold standard, the US dollar has lost over 98% of its purchasing power. Your savings account isn't growing, it's quietly dying. Inflation eats cash for breakfast. Meanwhile, the rich don't save. They acquire assets, real estate, businesses, stocks, things that grow. Your piggy bank is a leaky boat in a rising ocean. The question is, what lie did you learn next? Think about Warren Buffett. He didn't build his wealth by stashing cash under a mattress. At age 11, he bought his first stock. By 14, he'd saved whole $200 from delivering newspapers, and he used that money to buy a 40-acre farm. He didn't hoard, he deployed. The lesson was never save, it was invest. But nobody taught you that. Instead, you got a piggy bank and a pat on the head. The second lie? That debt is always bad. Another childhood fable. My parents told me, never borrow money. But the wealthy know that leverage is the engine of fortune. Real estate moguls borrow to buy apartment buildings. Entrepreneurs take loans to launch companies. The key difference, they borrow to buy assets that generate income, not liabilities that drain it. Your credit card balance for a new TV, bad debt. A mortgage on a rental property that pays you every month, good debt. One makes you poorer, the other makes you richer. But we're taught to fear all debt equally. That's the lie. Consider John D. Rockefeller. In the 1870s, he borrowed heavily to buy out competitors and build Standard Oil. At the peak, he controlled 90% of America's oil refining. Was he drowning in debt? No, he was swimming in it because every borrowed dollar bought an asset that produced more dollars. Debt is a tool. A hammer can build a house or smash a window. The problem isn't the tool, it's the hand that wields it. The third lie? That money is scarce. Think back. How many times did you hear, "money doesn't grow on trees"? That phrase programs a scarcity mindset. It tells your brain that wealth is limited, that you have to fight for crumbs. But the truth is the opposite. Money flows everywhere. You just have to position yourself in its path. The richest people on earth don't hoard, they create. They build systems, solve problems, and serve millions. Money isn't a limited pie. It's a renewable resource. Your mindset determines whether you see abundance or lack. And that decision starts before you even know you're making it. I met a woman named Sarah in my workshop. She grew up poor in rural Ohio, always told there was never enough. At 35, she was making $80,000 a year, but still living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because deep down she believed the scarcity lie. She hoarded cash, refused to invest, and turned down opportunities because they felt risky. Until she unlearned that story. Today, she owns 3 rental properties and a growing business. The math changed when her belief changed. Here's what ties it all together. These 3 lies, save only, fear debt, scarcity mindset, form a cage. They lock you into a life of financial mediocrity. But the wealthy live by a different code. Invest first, use leverage wisely, and believe abundance is your birthright. It's not about working harder. It's about thinking differently. The moment you question the stories you were told as a child, you take the first step toward real wealth. And that step is terrifying, Because it means admitting your parents, teachers, and mentors might have been wrong. Ignoring these lies has a devastating cost. I've watched brilliant people, engineers, doctors, lawyers, retire with a pittance because they never challenged their childhood money scripts. They saved diligently, avoided all debt, and believed scarcity. Meanwhile, the janitor who invested in a small rental property at age 25